but they also don't know much about me. I spent 3 years on and off on Tinder, going on dates all the time, and I've been rejected more than twice. I go out, like if I see somebody at a restaurant, a waiter, I'll hit on him. Maybe that's not great because they're working, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to get rejected. That's not the problem at all. It was at that time I just had been feeling a certain type of way, and it hit harder than it normally would have. But I do put myself in position of getting rejected, and usually I don't
Well,
take it very personal.
I know, but I'm not saying the
What's up, YouTube? Today we are covering, well, we're actually debunking a plus size girl who thinks she can get any man she wants, regardless of all the evidence that shows the otherwise. So let's get into it, shall we?
the number one thing men look for is beauty, right? So again, if you can't control your eating, like the way men are going to see it is you kind of deserve what you get, and they're not, it's not to, I'm not trying to judge you because I've been overweight. I get it. But, I would say that should be your number one priority right now is losing weight. 1,200 calories a day, baby. I did it. It's not too bad once you get past the cut.
I even eat less than that at this point. Some days I don't even eat, and that's not healthy either. But I don't. The thing is I don't want to attract the men that you're talking about. I don't want them.
Well, I would say that's all men.
It literally is all men, madam. After all, when was the last time you saw a man who was romantically or sexually attracted to a woman's financial position? The answer is none. We've never been attracted to that. Men don't care about that. We really don't.
All men prefer thinner women.
It's
Some might
not all
go
men.
for big. Some men might go for bigger women because they're easier. So they kind of the way that a lot of guys see it is bigger women are just easier to get. So they might not want to go through the trouble of getting like a super attractive girl. It's the same thing for me. I would say I'm pretty average looking. There's more beautiful women. Some men might go for a more average looking girl because they view the beautiful women as too hard to get. It's like too difficult. But they're always going to prefer the more beautiful and the thinner.
Looks matter. Looks do matter, but looks aren't everything. And I find myself beautiful in a lot of ways.
To women, though, they're not everything to women, but they're a lot. They're probably like 80% to men up front.
It's okay that I'm having such a hard time dating because I am trying to find the exception when it comes to men. I am not looking for someone who just judges me based off of my appearances because in general, there are a lot of men who say beauty is in the eye of the beholder as well.
We technically say that to hit an emotional trigger, madam. A lot of men don't really actually mean that. And technically speaking, men are the ones who are going to be determining what is beautiful and what is not. Because we're the ones who invest in that. We are. So it doesn't matter what you think, madam. You're not the investor, you're the investment. You're the one trying to convince us men to invest in you. Also, being morbidly obese at this stage of your age, that actually says a lot about your character, madam, because it says how irresponsible you are. And arguing this much over just facts, it also kind of shows us what would marrying you look like. It really does.
The people that are attracted to your page, yes, they guarantee they are looking for just looks, but it's not all men. There are a lot of men that I've met that don't just include looks. And there are a lot of men who are attracted to me just exactly the way I am.
Why do you go about it that way? Because I was in your position. No. So I was in your position. And instead of why argue with me about what men want when you know deep down on some level that men are more attracted to thin women? Why not just, say I'm going to lose the weight? Like, why argue? Why be combative? Why not just lose the weight and then problem solved?
Because the biblical verse of being submissive is apparently a very powerful trigger here in the West. That's the reason why it is. And personally, I don't know why this woman is saying that, like, hey, there are lots of guys who are attracted to her. If that was the case, you would already have a ring on your finger. You honestly, I would. Or you would have men lining up, wanting to be your husband, but that's not happening. And the reason why it's not happening is because men are the gatekeepers to marriage, women are the gatekeepers to sex. Yes, technically speaking, men might say stuff that you would like to hear in order to have sex with you, or just get done and over in order to have sex with you. Like, they might be willing to have sex with you, madam. However, they're not willing to enter a relationship with you. They won't.
Um, that's a deep-rooted question, and I would have to say it's because I've met good men. I've
So
met good
wait,
men.
wait, wait. So they're bad if they prefer thinner women? That's what you're implying.
I've met,
I mean, the guy
maybe I
you
should
went
say,
the guy you went for was tall, right? I don't think you're bad if you prefer tall men. You're 5'9", you know. I prefer tall men.
I
Why is
do
it,
too.
yeah, so why is it wrong for men to prefer thinner women? Like, why use the shaming language?
It's because I don't want to, because when you get older, naturally, you do usually gain weight, you usually get wrinkles, you usually get gray hair, and those are the type of men that'll leave me for someone younger. I don't want that. I want
No,
somebody who prefers
no,
who you are as a person.
no, but what they see it as you're irresponsible and you lack discipline. Because if you're overweight, you do lack discipline. You can't stop. You like, there's no reason you should be that big at your age. There's no like that like, do you know how many 10 pounds is 35,000 calories. That means for years you've had to eat in a calorie surplus and do nothing about it to get to that point. So, and I was in that.
And the reason why it's men are bad if we prefer younger women. Well, apparently the feminist movement teaches women that if women want standards, it's empowering. But if men want standards, it's misogyny. And yeah, it really does. Being overweight at that point of age really does show how irresponsible you are. And it does show a lot what your actual character is. It really does. Like, even if you just fast, like one meal, like on the weekend, you will see the results very quickly. You will. There's no excuse to be this overweight at this point of age. There really is not.
Same position. So again, I'm not judging you. I understand how it happens. But when it happened to me, I knew that I lacked discipline. So men see that as a character flaw. And it is.
I did lack discipline in that category. And one of the things is I didn't lack discipline in every facet of my life. I got my bachelor's degree. I'm in school. I have a job. I make more money than most men I meet on the dating apps. Most men I meet on the dating apps live with their moms.
Right. But most men don't care about that. That doesn't make you attractive because you make money. That makes them attractive to us. And the way they're going to see it is you're probably overpaid. So, because most women are overpaid for their work because men's jobs are traditionally harder. So, like, for example, you probably out earn like a logger. You probably out earn a lot of blue collar men that do way more difficult jobs than you.
I do not get paid nearly as much as blue collar men. And you know what? As a teacher who works,
you make more than 45,000, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I know. So loggers in Chicago. I'm from Illinois, so they make like 45K. So you make more than a logger.
Maybe in Illinois.
And here we are with the real reason why feminists will not let go that the gender pay gap was debunked. Because when that claim was made and we factually investigated and we actually investigated it, that investigation revealed a lot of disturbing things that the feminist movement, quite frankly, don't want us to know. Like how a lot of women are being overpaid for their jobs, for their very cushion jobs, in comparison to what men are making for their very incredibly blue collar jobs. They just are. Another example of what that investigation revealed. Well, there was a country who did an all female workforce strike, and it ended very quickly because it actually helped the economy. It did not hurt the economy. And that's something the feminist movement does not want to hear. They really don't. So yeah, these are just a few of the facts of why feminists won't let go that the whole gender pay gap was debunked. Because it got debunked by revealing a lot of things that the feminist movement does not want us to know about. It really did.
Illinois, but not in California.
I know, but what's with the arguing? Like, what's with the? You just said you make more money than most men you meet on the dating apps.
Because most men in the media and the dating apps don't have much drive. Okay, that's the thing that I'm trying to like tell you is that you may see me as overweight, therefore less than, or less disciplined, but why can't I not judge men off the same criteria? I see these men that haven't finished college, that don't have a good job, that are overweight themselves, and then I'm supposed to lose weight for these men? I don't want those men.
Well, exactly. But those are the men you're going to get when you're fat. When you're thin, you get way better men.
Exactly. I completely agree with Pearl. Yeah, you men do not get high value men. You don't. Sorry, but that's just the reality. And the reason why is because men are the gatekeepers to marriage. We're not the ones trying to convince you to marry us. You're trying to convince us to marry you. And in order for that to happen, you need to offer to bring something into our lives that, hey, we don't already have, that we would be interested in as straight men, and that we literally cannot get from every single woman on the entire planet. Quite literally. So, there you have it. That's all I got time for today, everybody. I guess I'll see you sometime after Christmas. Go and start packing, because I got a flight to catch.